What's going on, guys? Vic VP back with another Gamecase Arcades video. On this one today, the final part of this 3-episode series talking about my journey, my experience on tearing down total rubber LED conversions on these pinball machines. Last but not least, EarthShaker! Let's talk about EarthShaker and talk about the journey I had on this pinball machine. EarthShaker! You know the drill, you've seen it. I've said it twice already today. This is the last and final time for today to say it, but you know the drill. If you're not following me on all the socials, what are you waiting for? Be sure to follow me at Vic_VP. It won't go that high, it'll go right here. Be sure to follow me on all the socials at Vic_VP, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Be sure to join, check out all the shorts, check out all of the live little snippets, TikToks, videos. I post a lot right in the heat of the moment. So before a final official video goes out, you'll most likely see it live in the heat of the moment. Tomorrow is gonna be a pretty crazy day. I would assume the video is gonna come out before this video, but going out to Massachusetts tomorrow to go pick up a Neo Geo 6-slot arcade cabinet that a viewer by the name of Tanner is giving me. So I really appreciate it, Tanner. Thank you, I'm very excited. It will be a long day, 4 hours of driving. But yeah, be sure to stay tuned. Be sure to also like, comment, and subscribe. I forgot to plug that in. Let me know what you think of my EarthShaker total conversion, total teardown, LEDs and all. Let me know. I read your comments and I like the engagement. Thank you guys for watching. And yeah, let's get the show on the road. Go follow. Whew, part 3. Yes, today I mentioned it in those 2 videos for Royal Rumble and Roller Coaster Tycoon. Be sure to watch those videos. Today is strictly a day to film talking about the teardown process, my journey on these 3 machines here. So yeah, I am wearing the same shirt. I don't care. I don't think anybody cares or notices, but yes, it is what it is. I'm shooting these 3 videos all in one day. So yes, it is a process. It is quite a, it's a job. It's work, but it's a-okay. I enjoy making the videos. I talk a lot, so there you go. That's what it is. But on this one, episode 3, we're gonna be talking about Williams' EarthShaker. I'm gonna give you my experience, my thoughts on the game, how the whole total teardown went, LED conversions, and all. All in all, I love my 3 pinball machines. I love them. They're great. I think I love them more and appreciate them more now that I understand how they work. You know, stuff breaks, rubbers break, they gotta be changed, not to mention on how old machines are. Total teardowns is highly recommended. I do recommend that you do that. If you are in the market of looking for an older pinball machine, whether it's DMD era or non-DMD, especially this age, anticipate yourself to not only do total teardowns, cleaning, deep cleaning of playfields, but also swapping out, changing rubbers. And while you're at it, you might as well LED the hell out of it because yes, it brightens up the playfield, and to me, it looks beautiful. It looks great. Now, I've been starting this whole episode stuff. We talk about the actual cabinet itself. I do have full videos on this. So EarthShaker is in the same video for Roller Coaster Tycoon, as I was lucky enough, very lucky, I do consider it luck, where I got both Roller Coaster Tycoon and EarthShaker for $3,000. I did have to go to Jersey to pick them up. I did have to pull them through almost a mile worth of grass, but breaking my back a little bit, it all very much paid off. It was awesome. So again, be sure to check back on those videos. Each machine has its own video, so you could always go back. I'm not gonna repeat myself fully, but yes, this machine right here specifically, this was the Facebook Marketplace ad, had EarthShaker, but as I went to the second picture, I wasn't in the market for EarthShaker. As I went to the second photo, I did realize a Roller Coaster Tycoon in the background. I said, hey man, you down to do a twofer? And they said, yeah, come on down and take it. So I've played EarthShaker on location. Fun game. It is a very fun game. Very entertaining, especially like if you're a beginner, you want to get into the realm. It's cool. It's also challenging. It's also showing you how dated the machine is. There's no ball save on this machine. No, there's none at all. You are not. If you're in a multi-ball and you drain one ball, you ain't getting that ball back. If you plunge and you drain, that is it. Over. Game, ball, over, next ball. So it is very challenging. And like I said, luckily I played it on location. I played it on location. I enjoyed it so much. I did do a bi-week challenge on the virtual pinball machine / the virtual pinball players could do a bi-week and try to beat the highest score. So EarthShaker is a great game. I enjoy it. It was never a game though where I said I must own it. It's never like pulled me in where like I gotta have an EarthShaker. It's just coincidentally, I was in the market for a Roller Coaster Tycoon. It was a 2-for deal. And yeah, I'm not gonna pass up on a 2 machines for $3,000 deal. Nobody does that. It's just so cool. My situation and my shoes, my experience, I've almost, yeah, honestly, yeah, it's facts. I've almost experienced like every generation of pinball. I mean, you got Jersey Jacks, the newer playfield. You see how the wiring is on that with USBs and Cat5 cables and all that, to DMD era games and all the wiring, to games like this. I would consider it a solid state game. And I even done EMs with the reels in the back. So I've been fortunate enough to go through the reins a little bit on this. It's been a fun journey with pinball, and it's only been a year. It's been an awesome year, a year plus now. But yes, again, focusing on EarthShaker, I've played it, and I said to myself, you know what? It's a 2-for deal. It wouldn't be a game I wouldn't mind owning. It's a game I wouldn't mind owning. Why not? Very cool, very crazy how, you know, you just see how history goes about with games and the switches and all that. For example, on this one, the spinner, it's a very interesting mech. It's like a thin toothpick that activates a switch. It's very cool. It's been a great journey. But yes, focusing on EarthShaker, this one right here, it's an older game. And with that though, you will have older issues. One big issue on this EarthShaker, when I did pick it up, the woman said it didn't work. I didn't even attempt to power it on because several rubbers were broken. The slingshot rubbers were broken. I didn't even attempt to power it on. But she did tell me it didn't work. I said that's A-okay for the deal. I'm not gonna haggle. I already know what I'm gonna get myself into. That is A-okay. But when I bought it home, I did realize on the playfield there is minor. It's very minor, very small, but there is some bubbling on a little bit of the mylar here where the numbers are. For me, it doesn't affect gameplay. To a diehard collector, they're gonna try to lowball me and, you know, give me a low offer on the machine. But to me, it's there. Then again, it's a dated machine. Worst case, you would have to do an entire playfield swap on this. Aside from the very minor bubbling, right where it's close to the flippers. There's basically these bonus X targets. I'll shoot B-roll. Aside from the mylar here, you do have a groove right where like this eject is for zone 5. It's not, again, it's not an awful groove. It's not like the ball is gonna get stuck there. It's just there. You know, like I've been doing with this trend of episodes, I tell you how I feel about the machine, if I'm gonna keep it. Spoiler alert, I do have it. I have this machine up for sale or for trade. And I'm the type where I'm very truthful. I'm a very honest person. I do have in the listing that yes, there is bubbling by the mylar and there is a little bit of a groove where zone 5 is. So I feel like because of that, like those notices that I wrote, not much action or desire for EarthShaker. All right, let's talk about the total teardown process. Again, I knew for a fact a dated machine like this, it was dirty, it was filthy. Tearing down though wasn't as bad as like Royal Rumble or Roller Coaster Tycoon. Same setup, like I mentioned the other ones. I had a 6-foot table right next to me, and as I removed like slingshot plastics, I put it on the table along with the nuts exactly how, you know, it laid out here. I just moved it to a 6-foot table. On this one here, I didn't do any flame polishing as far as the plastics, because on the plastics here are actual stickers of the road. I didn't want to risk damaging any of that. Two kind of big downsides to this. The ramps here, somebody did try and attempt, like, I would assume like fiberglass fixing the ramps. It doesn't affect the shot because whatever they did, it worked out pretty decently. But one of them had to be reinforced, so I did put this black kind of strong duct tape. It's not that noticeable unless like you are like hunting for it. It is what it is. I saw the price for new plastic ramps for an EarthShaker, and I'm like, that's not really an amount of money I want to invest on a game, spoiler, that I'm not really planning to keep. So yeah, ramps was a thing. Same thing I said, I waxed the playfield 3 coats 3 times. Taking out this spiral ramp here was a nightmare. But the hardest challenge for this specific machine here, unlike other pinball machines where you could kind of pull the playfield out, you can't do that with this playfield. It only goes up. So yeah, that was a challenge. That was a thing to learn. Underneath, it's just so dirty. Like all the wires are just black dust dirt. So if I right now like lift up the playfield, I'm gonna just get black hands at the end of this. It's just gonna be dirty. So yeah, that was like one thing. Again, your basic teardown. I took everything out. With the teardown process, I was able to see rubbers. I did colorize rubbers according to the section of the game. You know, some people like to keep things just white or keep all, you know, all black. I did rubbers according to the zones. So if you're looking at it on the B-roll here, the flippers, I did red flippers. I just feel like this area, especially with these plastics, there's red. Slingshots, I did a light blue because it's kind of like the slingshot plastic is the sky. On the right, you can see like the Hollywood sign is red. So I had this red and yellow combination slingshot thing going. Red post where the captive ball is because zone 9 is red. If you look on the left, same thing on the left side here. I went with this red and yellow trend. Same thing with the left flipper is a red and yellow flipper. Towards the middle here with your 3 drop-down targets, the target alone is a blue and yellow. So I have this rubber that's blue and yellow. Pretty cool. Like zone 1 here, I have the yellow post. I got the red post here going to the fault, they call it. So all in all, I said color coding. It's a cool thing. I like doing it. You might call it rainbow puke or whatever, but I dig it. Very simple. Teardown, cleaning, deep cleaning was much needed. As far as now when it came to the color LEDs, I'm a big fan of cool white. So I had a lot of cool white on order, especially with the other 2 machines here. So cool white, I like it. It brightens up the playfield. On all machines, I didn't even mention it, but on the other machines I did, and even on this one, a couple of the posts, specifically where the slingshot is, I did those 360 LEDs that don't have a cover. This way it kind of shoots lighting out into the middle of the playfield. So yeah, it's a plus for color LEDs. Now, like I mentioned on the other parts, be sure to count when you order your LEDs and your rubbers. Be sure to count. I mentioned I had to basically reorder because I was short a couple of LEDs. Maybe I miscounted. I'm not going to blame the company. But again, Comet, Pinball LEDs, and Titan rubbers on this. The flashers. Flashes on this specific game, and I did it for all the other games. I don't do any covers or domes on the flashers. I just have them exposed. Flashers on this, blinding. But luckily it's a cool effect when you go into the, what is it here? Like the lock here. Get to the shelter. When you get into the shelter, it does like the matchup. Very cool flasher sequence. I love the flasher on that. It's just, it is blinding. But that's what a flasher is supposed to do. It's supposed to blind you. Real quick, as far as color LEDs, you can see what I did with the building. You can see that at the top, I did all red, the middle all yellow, and the bottom light blue. I actually had a regular blue. It was just too dark. I didn't like how dark the blue was, but pretty cool. And you can see there, like the actual art on the building, the top is red and it's got a yellow outline in the middle and a blue. So I said, let me get color LEDs for that. Changing the LEDs on this building was a pain in the ass. Unfortunately, my machine doesn't have it where the building goes down during gameplay, but that was a nightmare. Not to mention you can't remove the playfield, so getting down in there, you have to just, it was a lot. Same thing with removing plastics to get to LEDs and lights. Yeah, it was a lot of removing stuff that I didn't think I had to remove, but I had to remove it. Probably the biggest pain in the butt with this machine here is the right ramp that goes to the fault, this plastic. It's like I needed a very long screwdriver with a very long neck to get to certain parts. But yeah, polished plate field. As far as the actual wire forms, I did metal polish the wire forms and no flame polishing on the plastics because I didn't want to mess up the stickers of the roads. But yes, as far as, again, LEDs, underside, I don't do frosted on the underside. It's just straight, bulb. And again, according to the zone, I did it, with the color. So if it's an orange insert, like here for the 6X and the 5X, it's orange. The plastic is orange, so I put orange bulbs. The 6X light is red, I put a red bulb. What was very cool is zone 1, 2, and 3, I put a light blue LED because it's light blue on the building. You could kind of see, where it is. So it was a very well thought out process. Same thing though with Roller Coaster Tycoon. A couple of the zones, they were like 555 bulbs, but then a couple of zones were 444 bulbs. And it's like, why? You would assume it's all the same bulb type. No, make sure you label and note all the specific bulb types. But yeah, it was a much needed thing. Now, as far as the back box here, I'll take you closer. Let's take a look at the back box. One issue about being over here, the back box mech here, the key is here. So I have to pull EarthShaker to the side. I'm on a stool. Yeah, I didn't think that one through, but I have it unlatched now, and now we could pull off the beautiful, this is a mirrored back glass. Mirrored and all, beautiful. I love this back glass. It's awesome. But as you can see real quick, you're able to see the cool white LED upgrade. Again, Royal Rumble and this has it where it's a white board and you could, unlatch, and it's a door type of setup here. If I could now put it back. There you go. But yes, cool white everything. This one though doesn't have flashers like Royal Rumble does. But if you notice carefully, originally this here had halogens and it actually had slow blink halogens. And I was like, whoa, I never seen that. It was an actual bulb. It's a very circular bulb and it has like a wire in it that after a couple of seconds, I don't know, technology. So basically I translated that to getting some slow blinks and some fast blinks. Very cool. I think it looks great once you put the back box and the back glass back on. As far as the DMD error area here, these right here, I did LED convert these, but because it's yellowish, I did go with like that amber yellow here. So there you go. That is the LED conversion there. Again, like the biggest plus to this cab that I love the back glass. The back glass is like a thing of beauty. Now, what's kind of odd with this specific machine, I said in the journey of me getting it, I did remove the back box. I removed the head. This whole head came off for transport because I was alone. But I noticed that like if I had the head down, my speaker panel would fall out. And basically there's like two little metal brackets. I had to bend it in a little bit just to make sure it didn't work. It didn't fall out. But yes, this is my little journey now of locking the back glass. It's literally what you see. I go on a stool and I have to kind of, feel around. What sucks with this type of key is that it could go in both ways, but it doesn't turn both ways. So it's like, I had that happen where I had it in and I'm like, this doesn't turn and it is what it is. But yes, I know, like I mentioned before, this is not the total permanent location. And I'm gonna have to invest in those like coasters that slide machines. So I wanna get this as close as possible to Royal Rumble. Cool, we're there, awesome. Now, as far as modifications I did for this, I just did the poor man's adjustable LED mod like I did to all the other ones. I drilled a hole in the front where the coin door is, and then I split out the LED strip. You're talking $25, $30 adjustable LEDs from Amazon. You do need to do some soldering to get that to work, but luckily it's all like app controlled. EarthShaker is the only machine I don't have like a sequence or an animation going. I just kept it pink, like you could see in the camera there. But essentially, if I wanted to, you know, go into EarthShaker and I don't know, add some like sequences, you could do that. So again, it's pretty cool to do all that. I might do like, I like pink. Like, I don't know, EarthShaker, when I look at it, for some reason, it's like pink. I think I've seen like the car is pink. So that's why I left it pink. But again, you could do any color you want. And yes, I did do also the headphone jack mod. So when I do plan to stream this, I will be able to send direct audio to the laptop. So very simple alligator clamps going to the speakers and right down to a headphone jack. Easy. You gotta love adjustable LEDs or LEDs in general. It's just, it lightens it up. Love it. Now the only real issue I ran into with EarthShaker, it worked. When I bought it home, it worked. Again, keep in mind, when I first got it, I didn't test it. The woman told me it doesn't work, but it booted, it powered on. Now, upon me, when I did my total teardown and I was swapping out halogen bulbs for LEDs, I did notice that a couple of GI bulbs, really the rear of the playfield wasn't lighting. So originally I thought, okay, there's a bunch of bulbs out, but as I put new LEDs in, they still wouldn't light. Basically what I discovered is that there was a, I don't know, there's like a clip, like a bunch of wires, like bulbs, whatever you want to call it. There's a clip of wires, and upon further inspection, one little section was burnt. It was like charred. And unfortunately, with it being charred, it no longer was making contact. I even tried cleaning it. Essentially, I actually had to break off the wire, and I had to break off the little bit of plastic. And I kind of jerry-rigged, like I used an actual, what's the word? Like a spade connector for my arcades. And yeah, that was it. A little ghetto, but it works. At least my bulbs and GI are good to go. Other than that, the game works and it plays. I believe this does have the batteries still on it. So I did swap out the Duracells and all that. Maybe that was it. Maybe that's why it didn't work originally, because the batteries were dead on it and I didn't even test them. I just swapped them. But yes, I would look into doing the whole NV RAM swap. I do have my notifications on Pinsite when to change out the batteries. I don't know. I could always do it. But again, we're going to talk now about my thoughts on the game. I'm planning to sell this or trade it, so it wouldn't really stay here. For how long, I don't know, but yeah. Now, it's pretty cool. The pinball place that has an EarthShaker that I played it, they actually had it, it's all like colorized. Somebody like power coded it like purple, and they do have like purple alphanumeric here. I don't mind the orange. I think it's fine. As long as there's no flickering, the display works perfectly fine. No issues there. So I said, I don't have any plans to add or modify anything. This game is like done. It's set and done. Like I said, aside from the little bubbling on the playfield, that's probably the only negative. This right here, I think, is a great game. It's a lot of fun. But like I said, I'm not planning to keep it. Yeah, gameplay is great. I think it's like for a beginner or even an expert level person, you kind of have that stride of like, I'm going to just keep going and you know, completing the building and keep going. You're multi-ball, you have to really get the jackpots. But like I said, without having a ball save, it trains you. You're trying to get better and trying to cradle and hold the ball more. Again, all in all, it's a very fun game. I have the space. I'm fortunate enough that I have space for it. I do have it up for sale, but I don't have it, you know, if somebody shoots me an offer of like $500, no, I'm not in dire need of selling it. It is up for sale, but I don't need to sell it, if you know what I'm saying, if you get my drift on that. But all in all, it's a very fun game. My brother likes it. He gets frustrated as a game like EarthShaker would, where once you drain, that's it. You're out, you're shit out of luck. So I did tell my brother, EarthShaker trained me where once you could lose that first ball. You could lose ball one in like 10 seconds, but don't let that kill your vibe. You have the opportunity to get extra ball and stuff, and it's just, hey, wake up. Wake up. As far as compared to the other two machines, I didn't do anything with the apron. Apron cards are kind of nice. Unfortunately, this Riverside Amusement stickers here, I did try to take it out, but it was leaving like a residue, and I said I'm just gonna have to leave it because I don't want to risk residue, and I didn't want to touch it. But yeah, that's really it for EarthShaker. It's a fun game. Definitely, if you haven't played it, play it on Virtual Pinball. I believe Zen Studios is working on their version of EarthShaker. It's a very cool game, very iconic call-outs. It's fun. Is it a keeper? Again, if I was in need of space, this machine would be the first one to go, followed by Roller Coaster Tycoon. Cool. Now, one thing I will talk about with EarthShaker that I love, you really won't be able to get audio on it, but the shaker motor on this, oh, it shakes the house. I can't tell exactly what makes the shaker motor go off on its intensity, but I was playing it and it literally was moving to the left. I right now have ball 3, so we're gonna do it real quick. But essentially, it's like mayhem. Right now it's shaking, but it's like you could hear like you could, stay alive, stay alive. Like if I hold the ball, it's shaking. Let's hit jackpot. Let's see if we can. It's shaking. Like it's still going. Like I said, depending on like what you hit, it just forcefully like gives more shaker. That is why it is EarthShaker. Even with me controlling the ball with my hand, I can't do anything. Awesome. There it is. Like you could hear like the quick, like the rumble. It's crazy. There's a replay. Love it. EarthShaker. Awesome. Yeah. Now we're calm. Now I let that drain. What's very funny, there's no dial on the shaker motor. Maybe there is. There's, you know, boards inside, but I never touched it. But I was going through like the diagnostics menu here, and there's an option for a shaker motor. And it's got 2 settings on it, right? Get this. One setting is arcade, and the other setting is street. Like that's it. That's your intensity setting. So it's funny, as you stand there, you're like, what would be like less intensity, arcade or street? And apparently street is less intensive. Arcade is what I have it set to now. And it does what it's titled. It will shake the earth. That's what's really crazy. I had some family, my kiddos were over, my kiddos' friends were over, and we were playing, I was playing EarthShaker, and it's just shaking the house. So that's probably the best part about EarthShaker. If you want a game that will shake your house, it is EarthShaker. The shaker motor on this, and it's still like stock. I'm pretty sure it's the original shaker motor that came with the game. EarthShaker, that's what it'll shake the earth, yes. Well, there you guys have it. My little journey / teardown / experience with EarthShaker, concluding this 3-part episode talking about tearing down pinball machines. Loads and loads of fun. I'm still amazed that I got 2 machines for $3,000. So $1,500 for EarthShaker and a mind-blowing $1,500 for Roller Coaster Tycoon. It is a no-brainer. Love it. That mirrored back glass is just another thing. None of my machines have mirrored back glass. I think Godfather possibly does, but not to the extent of an EarthShaker. And it's cool. You can see like the flashing bulbs. I was talking about that before. Very cool. Very awesome. On that note, VicVP, Gamecase Arcades. It's Sunny Drive time. Flip. Yeah. Nice. Go down. Look, no ball save. No ball save. Deal with it.